What's up, guys? It's Mighty, and today we're going to be talking about the Destiny beta. Bungie's new game is an open beta now on, I know, at least PS4 and PS3. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox, but I played it a lot this weekend, and I'm going to be giving you guys some of my just initial impressions, positives and negatives, all that kind of stuff. I was in the closed alpha as well, so I could talk a little bit about stuff that's changed since then, a little bit more that they've shown. So they had, single-player missions, emergent co-op stuff, multiplayer. We're going to get into all of it. So without further ado, let's get down to business. Alright, so here we're looking at the three different character classes that you can choose from at the beginning of the game. They have the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock. And I played the Warlock in the Alpha, and he kind of has an AoE purple ball of explosion that he throws. The Hunter pulls out a gun, has 3 shots, and one-shots any enemy that he hits with it. And then the Titan has a bit of an AoE, like ground pound attack, and it zooms out to third person as well. In function, like when you're actually playing, the three characters, they play pretty much the same. I think the Titan's a little bit slower, has a little bit more health, like that kind of little variations, but they're mostly the same. The differences come in those special abilities, and it's just kind of picking which one you want to use the most. Here we're looking at the 3 different races that we have, the humans, Awokens, and Exo, which are like robot creatures. They haven't really talked about the backstory of them at all. I'm definitely curious to see what that story is, but we're going with the female Titan just for fun. This is a look at the menu where you can kind of customize your character a bit. The options are a little bit limited. The color scheme is fine, but like you can see there, we only have 7 different faces to choose from. The hair variations are pretty small. I mean, they're very different hairstyles, but they don't have that many to choose from. And I'm not expecting it to be like Skyrim where you have, you can change the shape of the nose, and if they have an underbite, like I'm not looking at that because it is a first-person shooter. Being able to customize your character at all is cool, but if they're going to have this kind of thing, hopefully they have a lot more options in the game proper. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of people that look the same in the game, which kind of takes away the whole point. So let's move on. Alright, here we're getting a little bit of a look at the world. This is one of the earliest moments in the game, kind of after they've introduced you to the Ghost character played by Peter Dinklage and, giving you a gun and letting you kill a couple guys. This is where the game really opens up, and from this point you could technically go anywhere you wanted to. So just, it's a look at the little, like, skyboxes that they have that Bungie's been always so good at creating, these beautiful places that you can never actually go to. Just giving a little bit of the scope of the game where you have these huge ships dropping guys and all that kind of stuff. From there, this is a look at a little bit, there's loot in the game. You open the crates and gives you, a weapon or armor or something. And that's, a lot of people equated it to Borderlands. I'm not really seeing that. There just isn't enough loot. It's not really a loot-driven game. They're very infrequently, and occasionally you'll get loot from bosses and stuff like that. But here you're looking at a little bit of the menus to equip things and level up powers. The progression system for powers is pretty straightforward. It's pretty along a straight line, at least early on in these early levels that we're seeing in the beta. Maybe it opens up later on where you actually have choices, but up to level 8, every time I've leveled up, I've only had one option for a thing to unlock. So that kind of takes a little bit of the RPG elements away that they were talking about. Going on, we're looking at one of these like closed single-player missions. I think you can play co-op as well, but you see there a little thing came up that said no respawns, so we're in an instance now. So if we were to die, we couldn't be revived by a teammate. We'd reset back out into the world. I never actually died doing one of these, so I don't know exactly how that would work, but just getting a little bit look at the early combat. I'm using, it's a burst rifle that I have here. Shoots in a 3-round burst. There's a fully automatic rifle and then a single shot semi-auto that seem to be the main 3 guns that you kind of have to choose from. And then from there, like with the secondary weapons like this, I'm using the shotgun, which is pump action. There's also a sniper rifle that you can use, and this like energy beam fire weapon that I actually really liked. And then here, just a look at one of the little bosses that spawns a bunch of guys to get into some combat with. He took quite a bit of damage before I took him down when I was playing by myself. So here's a quick look at that charge up kind of like fire laser gun that we had. I really liked that. You get it a little bit later on. And then this is the fully auto assault rifle that I eventually switched to after the 3-round burst. The 3-round burst just kind of had a weird recoil that I wasn't a huge fan of. And then this clip show off a little bit of like the melee you have, and then you see here we charge up, supercharged. We do our kind of like, I don't remember what it's called, but the big ground pound attack. A lot of fun to use, but that charge up, it does take a long time for that stuff to charge up. And then here, look at a revolver that is, it's not a sidearm. You use it as your primary weapon. You get a little bit later on that you can choose from. And I played around with a bunch of different weapons trying to get different clips and stuff like that to show you guys. Gonna come up and melee the heck out of these guys too. And headshots are the biggest thing in this game. The more headshots you score, the better off you're going to be. It does like 3 times as much damage. Alright, and here we're looking at the kind of big open world events that happen. So you saw there, you can hit the center button to pull up your little, I don't know, wave rider or whatever the hell it is, to kind of move around the map quicker. But this is big emergent optional things that just pop up randomly in the world, and we're here playing with like 6 other people that are just happen to be on the server, and apparently a lot of them suck because everyone keeps dying. But this was like the coolest part of the game to me. This was the most MMO-like. It wasn't a raid, like you didn't kind of all get together beforehand and plan stuff, but it just emerges randomly in the game where it's like, hey, this big cool thing's gonna happen, get with a bunch of random people and go kill some shit. Last thing I wanted to show you guys before we jump into the multiplayer here is a bit of the home base, like it's called the tower. This is where you interact with a lot of the NPCs, you can interact with other players, all the merchants are here, you get quests, that you can even get quests for like the multiplayer and that kind of stuff. So here's just a look. This is one of the merchants for my Titan class. So he's got some armor there. You see here is a bunch of stuff I can't get because I'm not high enough level. They're just kind of like teasing like, hey, we have a lot more stuff to come that you can't see yet because you're not high enough level, since we can only go up to level 8 in the single player game. But I guess that's kind of most of my impressions of the single player kind of co-op campaign mode stuff. So let's move on and talk a bit about multiplayer. So here we're looking at multiplayer. This is a little intro cutscene, kind of shows you your team and how cool all the different dudes look. And then right off the bat, I kind of want to talk about the vehicles. As of now, the vehicles are only available in this moon map, one of 2 maps that were in the alpha and one of 2 maps that were in the beta as well. If they're only on, you know, a small fraction of the maps, it doesn't really matter, but where they are now, the vehicles are really, really overpowered. Especially the big, not the one that I'm on, but the big tank that's next to me. You see there, you just get to triple kill like no problem. They're pretty crazy, and hopefully they're going to go through a little bit of balancing, because as of now, it's just an immediate reaction of once you get to the beginning of the game, it's, oh god, give me a vehicle right now so I can murder everything. And that was just a fun little double kill I got through using my power. So it's always really good with the powers to kind of save stuff for when you need it, grenades and melee and powers, because you'll always find yourself in like an indefensible position where that kind of stuff will get you out of it. Here, I'm going to do a little sniping. This was the first game I actually tried to snipe, so had varying results. I got a couple of fun kills. This is a nice little combo I got here with a sniping kill, switch to an assault rifle, grenade kill, and then my power kill. So that was a cool little combo. I wanted to put in there one of the more badass things I did during the beta weekend experience. But the sniping is good. It seems pretty balanced. Really, the only, at least with the sniper rifle that I have, which is an early on sniper rifle, the only time you're going to get one shot, one kill is a headshot, and even then I didn't always get one kill. You see there, like that looked like a headshot to me. I'm not sure if it was, maybe it wasn't, but it consistently will leave the enemy with a little bit of a scrap of health left, which at times can be very frustrating. I lost several gunfights, like 3 or 4 gunfights, where I had a really nice shot that I thought was a headshot or upper body shot that didn't kill them in one hit. And that can be a little frustrating because you're already at a bit of a disadvantage with a sniper rifle. At range, the benefit should outweigh the negative, and they don't really. The only reason I can see them being more useful is because the assault rifles have a lot of recoil. The fully auto and the burst rifle both have pretty crazy recoil on them, so they're not really great to use from long range. But here, this was just a funny thing. So here I get a decent shot, wing that guy, and then this guy melees me, but I no-scope headshot him. So I just wanted to have that in there. I thought it was a pretty fun little interchange. Get my elite skills from a montage. Here we're moving on to the other map that's in the beta that I hadn't played before. I only played a couple of rounds on it on the this weekend. I like it. There are no vehicles. It's more close range. I like the atmosphere of it. Here, just using this, charge up beam fire laser gun that I've been using that I really like. I'm not really seeing very many people use it in the multiplayer, which is interesting because I think it's really good. It's a close range weapon, and you kind of have to lead your target because the plasma bolts go out in a bit of a spread, so you have to follow them correctly in order to get. But if you do it correctly, which I kind of learned how to, you get a one-shot kill on all the guys, so it's pretty nice. Here, just showing off more of the map and more of the gunplay. Here I picked some heavy ammo from that dead guy so I can switch here to the LMG, which is the heavy weapon I was using. The heavy ammo doesn't seem that great because it pops up very rarely in the game, and I know you get rocket launchers and stuff later on, but here I got, from that pickup, I got 13 shots with that LMG, which as you can see there was enough for like 1.5 kills, and then I was out and I had to move on to a different weapon. So I don't know, I'm fine with it because rocket launchers and those big LMGs and stuff I'm sure would be very overpowered if you were allowed to use them as much as you want, pretty much. So spreading out the ammo intake and a little bit like that, making it a little bit more randomized, and you kind of have to camp for the special ammo kind of places. I get that, that's fine. So where it stands, I'm pretty okay with it. General impressions, I guess, before we wrap up the video here. I'm having a lot of fun with the multiplayer. It feels very Halo-esque, but I never really got into Halo personally. But this seems to have a good combination of the Halo feel and the Call of Duty feel. It's a little bit more fast-paced. You die a little bit faster, but there's still definitely more skill than being dependent on lag. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. Get a nice little burst kill there, and then I got overwhelmed and confused because there were a million guys. But I guess that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little bit. See here, a little ending screen where we win. But that's the Destiny beta. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it as much as I have, and we'll see you in the next video.